This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. And we're back again. So, 2017, well underway around Kansas, of course. Gosh, we've been on the air now for what? 4 years? 5 years?
Right.
Gosh, isn't that something? A lot of events and celebrations and all of that. In fact, you have one you'd like to talk about.
Of course I do. Fort Wallace, the Memorial Association at Fort Wallace, will be hosting the Great Fort Wallace and Western Kansas 1867 Exposition, July 6th through the 9th. So we'll have bus tours of the Scenic Byways. We will have a symposium for the nerd faction out there, you know, the scholarly folks. Then we'll have an encampment, which will reflect the 1867 and before. So the Cheyenne, the other tribes that would have been in the area on through the pioneers and the railroad and just so many cool things. And then on Sunday, we will have a ceremony at the cemetery, the Fort Wallace Cemetery, where a Seventh Cavalry Marker is kind of the center of that cemetery, and it's one that the Seventh Cavalry erected for its comrades. So it's a really beautiful marker. Highlight will be a concert by Michael Martin Murphey. He is coming to Wallace, Kansas.
Huh.
Is that not cool?
That's cool.
Fort Hays will be having its 150th anniversary. There's so many events, so if we don't mention yours, this is a good time. You know, let me know about it so that we can get that on the air. Be great to advertise with us. You know, advertise your event with us, and we will be happy to share it.
And you know, 1857 is when the Hayes House over in Council Grove was founded.
Yeah. I'm going to be speaking in Council Grove in June.
Huh.
June. The Kaw Indian Mission, our good friend Mark Brooks down there, asked me if I would be one of their regular speakers. So they have looked them up online. The speakers series this year, the theme is the Santa Fe Trail. So I'm going to be talking about the Sumner Expedition on the Santa Fe Trail in 1857. Good job, Frank.
Yeah.
Man.
It's amazing I remembered that. It's just that this isn't to get a free lunch, but I love the Hayes House. If you've never been there,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
I mean, after 1857, by now they really have the recipes
really
down.
Got it right. Well, let's take a look at 1867 in Kansas.
There are three pivotal dates in Kansas history. 1854, when the Kansas-Nebraska Act was signed and the territory was opened for settlement. 1861, when Kansas was admitted to the Union as a free state. And 1867, when a third of the counties were established and the Plains Indian Wars escalated in the West. In 2017, we will mark the 150th anniversary of so many places and events in Kansas that we should just begin the commemorations now and continue them throughout the year. The Medicine Lodge Peace Treaty, the Kidder Massacre, the founding of Fort Hays, the battle at Fort Wallace, and then this landmark event in government. In November of 1867, the state held a referendum on a proposed constitutional amendment to grant women the full right to vote. Women had limited voting rights already. It was the first ever referendum on women's suffrage in U.S. history, and specifically sought to amend Section 1, Article 5 of the state constitution to eliminate the word male from the clause defining the qualifications of an elector. The amendment had been approved by the legislature, but had to be ratified by the all-white male electorate of the state. The proposed amendment shared the November ballot with a proposition to eliminate the word white from the clause, defining the qualifications of an elector, and allow African American males the right to vote. The results of the Kansas election saw both women's and black suffrage defeated, with black suffrage receiving 10,483 votes and women's receiving 9,070. With the defeat, equal rights activists were forced to realize that their campaign had failed. The failure of the campaign stemmed from the tensions within the Equal Rights Association. The major problem arose from the fact that many members were feminists and abolitionists, torn between supporting suffrage or fighting for freedmen and women at the same time. It would be decades before these issues passed. But in looking back at the events of 1867, the suffrage debate reflected the upheaval following the Civil War. The interesting times were not over, and in fact were just beginning.
I was in an accident where I fell off a roof. I don't know why I started to research stem cells, but I did. And I visited with the doctors. They were excellent. I had my neck done, my shoulders done, section of my back, my hips, my sacrum, my sciatica, and my tailbone. Now I am having better range of motion in my arms and my neck and my back. It was a long road to get there, but I'm so glad that I found them.